Welcome to the Goalbusters Expert Peak Productivity Tips podcast, where top business experts get just 7 minutes to answer 5 rapid-fire questions about what they do and how they stay productive. Each episode is packed with actionable insights to help boost your efficiency and achieve your goals. Let's dive in and unlock the secrets to peak performance. Well, hello everyone. I'm Robin J. Emden, creator of the Get Resultsology system and an accountability coach. I help people harness productivity to achieve meaningful results, increase income, grow their business, and create success that resonates with their authentic selves. Joining us today is Lynn Howard, a global change maker with a no-nonsense approach, overcoming adversity from childhood challenges to beating cancer. Lynn has launched, scaled, and sold businesses across 3 continents and served as COO for a global organization. As an entrepreneurial development strategist, she's empowered thousands of leaders to reach their potential with her make it happen mindset. Lynn is here to help us today unlock new possibilities. Lynn, welcome.
Thanks, Robin. How are you?
I'm fabulous, thank you. Whereabouts are you, Lynn?
I'm in Bangkok, Thailand currently.
Oh, wow. And it's quite late for you as well. It's about midday for me here in Torquay and Devon, but it's getting on for you.
Yes.
Oh,
It's nighttime, but you're not my last meeting, so we're good.
I feel better about that now. I was beginning to feel a bit guilty about keeping you up late. So thank you so much.
No.
Someone else can have that guilt instead.
That's right. That's
All
right.
So mindful of the fact that you do have another meeting to go to and that we need to crack on with the podcast, I'll get straight into the questions. So I will start the clock if you're okay with that. So let's get the clock going. And there it goes. So let's talk about what you do, please, Lynn. So Lynn, please tell us, who is your ideal client?
Yes, it depends on which business you're speaking about, but really with the entrepreneurial and small business side, I work with individuals, small businesses, and entrepreneurs globally who want to get shit done. That's what I help them do. Most people get into their business because they love the technical part or they're good at it. Sometimes they're not so good at it, but they love it. But essentially, most people don't know how to run a business. They have a hobby at best, and they are kind of like being very reactive. So ideal client for that is entrepreneurs and small business owners globally who know they need change, who want change, who want to grow, scale, or even potentially sell their business, but they need to build the fundamentals and foundations to absolutely make that work. They need to learn how to be an entrepreneur, a business owner, a manager even. They know that they have that need. Sometimes it manifests differently, but they absolutely don't want to be in the same place again next year that they were this year.
Okay, that's very clear and fascinating too. So thank you for that, Lynn. So so obviously you've covered some of the problems that you solve, but
Yeah.
is there specific problems that you solve in addition to what you've already mentioned?
Listen, I have a brother from another mother who always says structure creates freedom, and I love that. And so essentially what we do, because in the business I'm speaking about, not the fractional CEO work that I do, but the small business and entrepreneurial business I do, is we help them create the structure and the fundamentals and the foundations and or strengthen them to absolutely go to the next level, whatever that is, personally and professionally. And so we help them with the big picture and the everyday actions. It's important that we have both, and not every people can have a foot in both worlds. And so we give them the framework and the fundamentals and the support and the accountability to really set that up, practice it. We practice how we play how we practice, and then be able to absolutely continue that after working with us.
Oh, great. I love that. That sounds brilliant. And the structure and the planning and the practicing, the rehearsal as well is that's just so powerful. So thank you for that. So what is one valuable free action that the audience could implement that will help them solve these types of problems?
One of my favorite things to do is to pick 3 action items every single day. You can consider it a goal, you can consider an action, whatever you want to do, but that's more semantics. But 3 things that you're going to, no excuses, accomplish in that day that is absolutely driving you towards your end goal. Most people think motion is progress, and it is not. Progress is action in alignment with where you are wanting to go or where you're wanting to be. So when we absolutely intentionally set 3 goals that we must finish that day, or 3 tasks that we must finish that day, in alignment to the goal. And they could be baby goals, they can be, or baby tasks, or big goals and big tasks, but that you are absolutely completing that day. No excuses, no slacking, but that will absolutely help you take the intentional steps forward to where you want to go.
Genius. That's absolutely right. I completely agree with you. And it is a transformational little skill, actually. It's a little skill in terms of doing it, but it's a big difference to your day. I absolutely love that. Thank you
Our
so
journey
much.
is done in baby steps. It's not done in leaps and bounds. So
Absolutely. So thank you. So now we know a little bit more about what you do. Let's talk about goal busting, meaning how do you make the best use of your productive time to achieve your own business goals? So Lynn, could you share any tips or advice for someone looking to improve their productivity habits? Even though you've already given us some, I'm greedy and I always like to hear more.
oh, I love this. So I was just speaking about this earlier for a 7-minute presentation and networking, but essentially one of my other go-tos is to look at my week every Sunday. So that way I can just get a visual of what my week is going to be like. Do I need to make changes? Do I need to follow up with somebody? I had lunch with an ambassador today of a different country in Thailand, and we were actually speaking about this because what she's going to wear for that day keeps her up at night, like makes her wake up, because she goes to all these different events. I was like, plan your week on a Sunday, like know what you're going to do. This gives, like, it takes that anxiety out, and really being able to focus on what you need to focus in on. So one of my favorite assets or tools I use is looking at my calendar, making sure everything's in order. What do I need to do? What do I need to prepare for? What do I need to shift? Who do I need to remind? On that Sunday night was my favorite, but you can also do it Monday morning, but Sunday night typically kind of sets the tone. And when you're in the habit of it, it helps you for, you can probably get it done within 30 minutes, no more than an hour, even at my peak when I need a lot of time.
Oh, I really like that. I think I might have to pinch that one. Call it the ambassador strategy, perhaps.
Sure.
And that is brilliant. And the piece, I love the distinction about how that gives you peace of mind through the rest of the week because you are working a plan. That's a very nice and very cool distinction. And
Well,
thanks.
you have an idea of what's going on. Even if your plan isn't fully there, you have an overview.
Yeah.
And so again, you can use it for personal and professional, or a combination of both, but it absolutely can be a game changer.
Yeah, game changer, definitely. So thank you for that, Lynn. Now, I'll come to the final question, which is, I always love this question the most because what should I have asked you today that I didn't? I'm always interested in this. And also, obviously, your answer too, please.
Oh, well, I would say, what's one asset that we could probably use outside of the tools and the the formulas and the formats and the foundations? And what I would say that is building our resilience muscle. Resilience is like a muscle, and we need this personal and professionally. Things are going to happen. You're going to get more no's than yeses. You're going to have failures, and failing forward is very important. But if you do not build that resilience muscle, if you don't learn agility and understand what resilience is, you're absolutely putting yourself up for a bit more failure, heartache, and headache in the long run.
Look at that. Perfect timing as well. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much.
I'm a time person.
Yes.
I knew we were going to be done on time because I am a time person. I am such a time person.
I'm glad I wasn't late then coming into the call at the beginning.
We would have had a conversation.
Yeah, all right. I just wouldn't have. You just would have gone, wouldn't you? I know. So that, which would have been perfectly
I
fair.
have a little bit of a grace period. 10 minutes, the max I will ever wait for somebody, and that's me being gracious.
That's fantastic. Well, I would never be late for you. I wouldn't dare. And so that's just brilliant. So that's an absolute masterclass today. And every point I completely understood and totally got the value from. And I hope our listeners and viewers do too. I'm sure they will. There's some really great stuff in there. I particularly like the ambassador technique, which I actually won't pinch that wording from you, but that's how I think of it today.
Hey, that's okay. I will let her claim it, even though it's been something I've been doing for decades.
But it is how I will remember it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and when we were talking about it today, I was like, like, listen, if that keeps you up, just plan. She's like, but I like to be free. I was like, you can still change your mind that day.
Yes.
Just having an idea of what's going to happen. Do you need to pull out your traditional dress? Do you need to wear a gown? Because sometimes they have to actually wear formal attire during the day for certain like King's events and things. I was like, you at least have an idea.
Yeah, no,
you know, it's interesting. I don't know if you have time, but they did you have a moment. Yeah. So Obama did an interview, and I can't remember who it was with, but it was a late night talk show person, and it was a Netflix special, and he was doing these it was Letterman, I think. But he asked the ex-president, former President Obama, what color his underwear were. And he said, they're all the same.
Yes.
And he said, I actually only have so many color suits. It's more the ties and the different things like that. And really, and there's a lot of research around that too, like really highly efficient and accomplished people tend to have very limited wardrobes or certain aspects, because then they don't have to think. When you can take the little things that take energy to even just process a little bit, it gives you the ability to be able to have more capacity in the moment, right? So because he didn't have to think about what color underwear, what color suit, because they were all the same color, it gives him more energy to actually put towards that moment or that time or more important things. And that's the same kind of concept that like I bring into working with business owners, as well as helping navigate ambassadors, is like, okay, like where can we gain some of that like mental capacity or little nuggets back to be able to give you more energy and return on investment in the long run. And it's just the little things like that that really add up.
Yeah, although I don't think that's a little topic. I was just thinking as you were talking about that, I was thinking we could probably spend like an hour and a half talking just about clearing your mind of such clutter and the difference that 100%. It makes. There's so much value in what you just said, and it's so true. Absolutely. So thank you for sharing that to us. It's a lovely bonus for our listeners, and for me, actually. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So thank you very much. So Lynn, how can people get hold of you? I know you have a website. Is there like I think when they get to your website, they can get some quite valuable free resources from you to just make the initial contact with you. Am I right about that? And if so, I can add that link to the video in the podcast.
Yeah, definitely. So the Pursuit of Badassery, that's badassery with an IE at the end.com. We have a lot of free resources there. LynnAHoward.com also, but probably the best way to get a hold of me is on LinkedIn, or if you don't have LinkedIn, on Instagram. But my emails are across both websites as well.
Okay, that's perfect. So I will put those. I will put the links to the websites on there, and people will find you on LinkedIn, I'm sure, as well.
Perfect.
Lynn, that's been brilliant. We overrun, but it was worth every single second, in my opinion. So thank you so much. So thank you, Lynn, and bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Goalbusters. If you're enjoying it, please subscribe, rate, and review it on your favorite podcast platform. Your support is very much appreciated. And if you're ready to boost your online profits, skyrocket your productivity, crush procrastination, and see a positive change in your bank balance, all within just 30 days, this is your opportunity. Take my free 5-day challenge at www.skyrocketyourproductivitychallenge.com.